When you came here, Bobby, what did you think of the United States of America, and has it changed your viewpoint since you've gotten here?
Yeah, it has. I've only been here 5 years, and I came over on a fiancé visa because I met my wife in Australia. And the time that I've been here, I have just seen what's the point in making an effort anymore? Why try when it can just be given to you anyway? Where is the reward for the effort that you put in?
You still have that in? Do you have that in Australia?
We have a different border system because Australia is surrounded by water.
No, I know that, but I mean, I know, and you put sharks in the water. Why do you hate people so much?
Yeah, well, they're not a respecter of persons. They'll just eat you.
Let me go into the back row, or the second row here. Yes.
I think we need to enforce the law for the same reason we lock our doors at night. People who come into this country and do not do it legally have no vested interest in the country. They take jobs away from legal people because they work for less. And of course, if you hire an illegal immigrant, you can pay them less money. You don't obey HR laws, nothing. Those people also go under the radar when it comes to taking advantage of social services. And in all honesty, at the end of the day, someone who has no vested interest is a nuisance. And when someone is a nuisance, they don't benefit society as a whole.
Let me go to George in the middle of the second row, and then we have to take a break.
I think it's really simple. Illegal, as you mentioned right in the beginning, versus legal. I think everybody here, including myself, are for immigration, but legal immigration. If you're going to break that law, are you going to break every other law? We're a country of laws. That's why we are such a great country.
Okay, so let me. I'm going to take a break, and then we're going to start there because I want to go over this because I think this is relatively easy to fix. But I'm alone in that, I think. But I want to go over my plan and see what you guys think. We'll do that in just a second. Right back. Welcome back to the program, Time to be Heard. This is an audience full of legal immigrants. And I don't think anybody has a problem in America, although you're always told we do, that if you're different, well, then we don't want you here. That it couldn't be further from the truth. We have some new people I want to introduce you to in just a second, and I want to start with Sergey up here. You were saying...
What I wanted to say is that I would like to make a parallel, actually, between our borders and the fish.
And the fish?
Fish.
Okay.
Why fish has the scales? Scales represent fish integrity. It's a protection. It means that the fish can survive in the water and be protected from the environment and continue living because of the scales. Now, if we don't enforce our borders, we don't have a future, practically. We're deteriorating as a society. We're reducing our integrity, and as a result, of course, we're not enforcing even the existing laws. So to me, everything is interconnected. Not enforcing the borders, which is our protection, our integrity as a society. And as a result, of course, we're not enforcing the laws inside. So if we're not protecting ourselves, why to bother even to enforce the existing laws?
We are a fish without scales. How true.
Very true.
I want to see if you... tell me where I'm wrong on this. And Ray, I'd love to have you chime in because you're an attorney on this. But let me just go through this. I think this is a really... quite simple to be able to fix this, America. I mean, it'll cause pain and it'll be trouble and there's some details, but first of all, we just enforce our scales. The current laws that we have, just enforce the current laws and enforce the borders, north and south, and the airports, as we do already, just enforce them. Also, anchor babies. Does anybody know where anchor babies came from? Yes.
Law was introduced in 1868, and it means that any child born of illegal immigrant is granted the status of a legal...
1868?
1868.
And why was that put in? Do you know why in 1868? Who was that to protect?
Slaves.
The slaves, yes. Slaves. This was a slavery thing because people were afraid that now we're going to say, well, you're not a legal resident. You're here illegally. Who are you? And they would tell the slaves that they had no place to go. No. No. That's what anchor babies are for. This is the only country that has it. Slavery's a long time ago. It's time to cut that so people don't come over the border, have a baby here, and then you got a foot in the door. It's just, we're the only country that does it. Stop. It was for a good reason. No longer. So enforce our current laws. Make the door wider. We are a country of immigrants. Ellis Island, come in the right way. We should have our churches and our community organizations teaching people English. Could any of you survive if you didn't learn English?
Nope.
So why are we not doing that? Teach English. Ellis Island. We should have Ellis Islands, north, south, east, west. Ellis Islands. Have them come in the front door. Ray, take that book, throw that book out. Let's have some comment. You know, we built the entire interstate highway system, America. The entire thing. It took 24 pages. Show me all the legal rigmarole you've got to go through. This is ridiculous. It took us 24 pages to build the entire interstate highway system. This is nonsense. Get rid of it. Make it easier for people to come in the front door. Then choke off the bait. Go after these companies. Illegal immigration is modern-day slavery. People are making money. They don't have to pay for insurance. They don't have to worry about OSHA. Go ahead. Call the police. It's slavery. It's wrong. It's immoral. Choke it off. Any company that knowingly is hiring illegals, choke them. Choke them. Then those that are here, document, find, and you put them in the back of the line. They don't get immigrate. They don't become American citizens. In the back of the line are the people who are trying to do it right. If you're a criminal, get the hell out of our country. We got enough criminals in Washington. We don't need any more. Now, the last one is encourage people to melt. Melt. I remember growing up, and my mother and father and grandfather always taught me we were a melting pot. People came from all over the country, and we melted into something unique, American. Now everybody wants to have their own damn space and their own everything. You're an American. That should mean something. Now, is there any part of this that you think is unreasonable?
Nope.
Ray.
Well, I'll tell you, and everybody ought to take a real hard look at the new act that's been introduced by the Democrats. It's called the Real Enforcement with Practical Answers for Immigration Reform.
Oh, dear God.
Repair. Now, you say, dear God, Glenn, but the proposals in this new legislation, and it's amazing because by who wrote it. It comes from Reed, Durbin, Schumer, Leahy, Feinstein, and Menendez, who have always been, pro-immigration, and they've been, there's been the outcry against the Arizona law. But the thrust of this new bill is enforcement. All your 6 outlines that you have there are incorporated in this new act.
What's the catch?
Number 4, those that are here, document, fine, and get into the back of the line. Now that could be interpreted as an amnesty, but it's not. It creates a new category of immigrant. It would be a lawful prospective immigrant. Those people have to register. If they have criminal backgrounds, they are deported.
Right.
It answers your concerns, Glenn, and I'm actually surprised by it.
Well, okay, but here's the thing on that. You remember Ronald Reagan?
In 1986, of course.
Made the same deal. His thing was enforce. His was make $1 million fine against these companies. Oh, sure we'll do that, sure we'll. Nothing happened. Nothing happened.
But Glenn, we didn't have...
No.
Sure.
Right? These people in Washington have zero credibility. That group, zero credibility. When I sought to see them actually enforced before they've passed any new law, then I'll believe they mean half of what they say they do. Back in just a second. Panelists to tell their stories of how they came to America. Anna immigrated here from Brazil. Bindu is an immigrant from India, and Juan is from Colombia. Anna, let me start with you. How did you get here and why?
I got here because of my father. I came kicking and screaming. I was
14, almost 15, I didn't have the vision that he did at the time. And I had an opportunity to come on a student visa to live with my uncle who was teaching Portuguese at West Point at the time. And I didn't want to leave my country, but my dad knew that this was the land of opportunity and that I could make something of myself here. And that's exactly what happened. And I came with no expectations. I came with no demands. I just came to be part of the system, to integrate myself. And I worked hard, took no entitlements, and have had a great experience. I have lived the American dream.
And you're American now.
Yes, thank God.
Bindu.
So I was 13 when my parents told us that we were going to move to America, and we were just excited that it was our first time on a plane. So, but we had a pretty good life in India. But my parents believed that, and against the age-old story about America, it's the land of opportunity. So, sacrificed what they've known for years, and decided to uproot the entire family and move here.